Good evening, Sierra Leone. Good evening to everybody in the diaspora and those of you that are back home. This is David Bongo coming to you from Kono News Network. Um, I have been having some technical issues, but I hope my viewers will understand. So I am coming to you with a very important topic this evening, which is patriotism. True patriots. What characteristics can someone have for you to call them a true patriot? But before I start saying anything, I want to thank my viewers. I want to thank my subscribers. For you to continue to subscribe, comment, and share. Click on the bell so that whenever I am on, you will get the message. Tonight I'm going to discuss to you about patriotism, and I'm going to talk about 10 different items that are characteristics of a patriot. We want to make Sierra Leone a better place. We want to make the world a better place. But we start from home. If we see problems, we need to find solutions. If we are involved in problems, we look for solutions. Whatever the case is, there are already problems that most of us have been able to identify. What we need to do is to find solutions to these problems. We don't try to aggravate the problems to make them even worse. Most times, we find problems with authorities, we find problems with ourselves, we find problems with community members, we find problems even with groups of people who come together to solve problems. But at the end of the day, our primary objective is to show love to each other and also to show love to our country. I have 10 things that I want to discuss this evening. For someone to become a very, very honest and true patriot to their country, they have to be someone who loves and supports their country while upholding the highest values and principles. Even if you love your country, as you support your country, you should make sure the values are supported and they are upheld. The first thing I'll talk about is loyalty to the nation. How do we show loyalty to our nation? We have to make sure that whatever the case is, a true patriot must stand by their country and must also support it in all aspects, while at least they are also open to constructive criticism. Next, I would want to say respect to the national values. We have to identify our national values. And once we know these national values, we try to make sure that we are not compromising the values. If we stand for transparency, we have to make sure we ourselves are transparent. Our activities are transparent. We don't indulge in things that bring corruption and damnation to our nation. These are things that we see with other people. We are very good at pointing fingers at other people. We are very good at bringing these problems up. But our problem is, how do we solve these things? And that is where we have to improve. My third point will be active citizenship. When you see things going on wrong, you should you should complain. You should be part of the solution. Provide the information to the necessary authorities who should be able to handle these problems. If we see things going on wrong, we don't talk about them, then we are also accomplices to those wrongdoings. So an active citizen is a true patriot who participates in civil duties and also such as voting, staying informed, and engaging in community services. When we talk of community services, we don't always expect payment for certain things that we do. There are things that we do to correct system. We become role models and help our country to grow. So a true patriot should be somebody who is actually an active citizen. Next, I will talk about willingness to defend the nation. We know there are security officers like military people. We also know that there is a police force, but also we the people must be the greatest defense for our nation. Recently, we heard of drugs. Um, in Sierra Leone, we heard about people who are involved in these drugs dealing or drug trafficking. We have not had any final conclusion about allegations that were alleged on our ambassador in Guinea Conakry. We knew they reported that they arrested the driver and one other unnamed person in the vehicle. That name we still don't know, and we don't know whether we will ever know about it. Why the name was not pronounced to the public, we don't know. But what I'm trying to say here is that if things like that are alleged on your country, we speak rationally, irrespective of political affiliations. We don't try to bring politics into things like that. We call a spade a spade. Whoever is responsible, whoever is a culprit, must be brought to justice. But when we deny these things, bringing these culprits to justice, then we are condoning, we are not upholding the values of the country. We are not upholding. If other people who are not opportune enough to be very close to authorities get involved in these kind of issues, the kind of justice that will be meted out to them will be completely different. So as citizens, we should always try to maintain a very good defense for our country and at the same time upholding its true values. Another thing I would want to talk about also, which is my fifth point, is constructive criticism. We can criticize as many times as possible. We can say things that we want, but let our criticisms be constructive so that the persons you are criticizing will be able to see value in what you tell them, and then they'll be able to learn from what you're telling them. Otherwise, if we just criticize to break down the person, then we're not helping them to grow. If our authorities say our stakeholders default in a way, we try to let them know respectfully, and then we also try to let them adjust and amend their wrongdoings. But if we just continue to talk randomly, we don't provide solutions to our problems, we criticize just to destroy the personality of individuals, that will not help our country at all. Again, this is David Bongbo coming to you from Konon News Network. I'm bringing some few points that we need to reflect on. This is just nation building. It is also non-partisan. This has nothing to do with politics. We're looking at issues and we want to discuss these issues. As a true patriot, we have these qualities that I'm listing down, and then no matter what happens, we should stand by them. My seventh point here will be integrity and honesty. That is one thing that we need to improve on in Sierra Leone: integrity and honesty. We need to improve and develop our attitude, our cultural values. Whatever services we are providing for people in the country, we have to exhibit high level of integrity and honesty, because we are there as role models, we are there as people that have been entrusted with the national services. If we don't have credible integrity, and we also don't have any high level of honesty in us, then we will also contribute in destroying the country. Our services will not be of higher values, they will not be of quality, and then at the end of the day, money is being spent or wasted, and then the services are not provided accordingly. I will also talk about sacrifices for the common good. Sometimes, especially, I would address this to politicians, that people have entrusted their values into you so that you would uphold those values, help to maintain them. They have trusted you with their votes, and when you get into the positions of authority, you don't sacrifice for them. Instead, you want every benefit to come to you as an individual, and maybe possibly the closest people around you, and then you forget about the electorate, people that voted you in. Well, this does not go only to politicians, to anybody who is in higher authority, positions of trust. We have to sacrifice for the people that we work for, because if we don't sacrifice, we are going to continue contributing to destroy the nation. So tonight I want to talk to everyone that we should be ready to sacrifice for the common good of our country and for the common good of everyone that we serve. Next, I will talk about promoting unity. This is also a very, very important thing in our country. During elections, we see how people are being damaged, properties are damaged, lives are lost, all because of politics. Now, tonight, I'm talking to everyone in Sierra Leone that we have to be agents of change. We have to promote unity in our country. We have to show people that we can unite, we can coexist with each other. So I am emphasizing tonight that we continue to be agents of peace. We also continue to be people who want to promote success in our country. Let's continue to promote unity. And finally, I will talk about responsibility and accountability. How accountable are we to services that we provide? How accountable are we to finances that are charged to us to use? So if we don't practice proper accountability, we are also going to see that our nation is going to go down the drains. I'm not going to extend this particular conversation. I just want to make sure that if we want to be true patriots in our country and in other countries as well, around West Africa, continent of Africa, and the globe all around, when we want to become true patriots, there are these characteristics that we must have to show that yes, when we work with respect for each other. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. Please share this message and also comment and like. Thank you very much. This is David Bongo talking to you from Kono News Network. Good evening.